Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Banter with Brooke. I'm your host, Brooke Podcast, and today is my final guest episode of my family, and I have my mom here with me today. Hello, Mother.
Hello.
So you guys met my brother, my sister, and my grandpa already, and now the grand finale is my mom, and she's the last member of my immediate family that lives here with me, obviously. And so today I'm going to be interviewing you, kind of how I interviewed everyone else, and I'm going to ask you some questions.
Yay.
Okay. So the first question I have is, well, one, you can introduce yourself, tell them just your name. You could tell them, you don't have to say, well, they already know our last name, but you could say your name, things about yourself.
My name is Sherry. I'm old. I'm actually going to be 62 this month.
Speaking of that, this episode comes out a day before her birthday. So everyone in the comments, go wish her happy birthday.
I work full time from home. I have my 3 kids and my dad to take care of, and I like to do a lot of DIY stuff around the house. That's my fun. I don't know. That's all I can think of right now.
Okay. So the first question is, what jobs have you had throughout your life?
I actually haven't had that many. I started working at my aunt's hair salon when I was 14 and worked there for 8 or 9 years, through high school, through a little bit of college. And then somebody that actually came in the salon told me there was a job at an insurance company and if I wanted to apply, and I applied there, and I've been in insurance ever since, just being sold from company to company to company. So, but I've been at my current job for like 26 years.
Do you have any, did you like working at the salon, the beauty salon?
I did. It was fun and it was perfect I was able to save a lot of money. It was perfect for my age and to save money.
Stop doing that.
I'm trying to think what.
It's going to be annoying for the listeners. You were able to save a lot of money.
Yeah. And then I just decided at one point that I didn't want to continue with that or get my beauty license or whatever, because I wanted a 9-to-5 job where I had, my set hours, my benefits. And that's why I looked elsewhere, but it was a good job.
Do you have any things that you wanted to do, or what did you want to do when you were growing up, or you didn't know?
I didn't know. I don't think, I still don't know.
Well, yeah, but do you have anything you wish you would have tried?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Next question I have is, what is your favorite memory with grandma? And then what's your favorite memory with grandpa, which is her mom and dad?
These are tough questions. I wish you would.
Well, I can edit this out.
Okay.
I can sit and
Okay. I guess one of my favorite memories with my mom was, especially around holidays and stuff, to cook and clean with her. I think that sounds kind of stupid, but it was
I don't think so.
It was just more fun on holidays to just go up there and help her cook whatever meal she's making and clean and get the house ready and just what do you call it? Not customs, but Traditions, yeah, just doing traditional stuff. But I enjoyed helping her in the kitchen a lot.
Maybe that's where I get my love of cooking from, because grandma liked cooking and she taught you how to cook, and now I like to cook. Okay, and then what about grandpa?
I would have to say my favorite stuff about grandpa are more recent, just because him living with us and seeing.
Well, you lived with him all your life.
I know, but seeing what kind of a grandpa he's been to you guys has been special.
Okay. But nothing specific from Like, was there just like it's fine if not, but like a specific day or something you like vividly remember or anything like that?
No, but I have I have a terrible memory.
Okay.
Something might come to me later.
Okay. Next one I have is, are there any, well, this kind of goes along with, are there any childhood stories that stand out to you? Like a favorite childhood memory or like,
It could be anything.
yeah, just anything from your childhood that stands out to you.
A couple things. One was playing Barbies with my sisters. And I mean, I swear we played Barbies till we were probably in high school and we played like nobody else played. Like my brothers had G.I. Joes, we had Barbies, and they were married, and it took us like so long to build our houses. Was like we had cardboard boxes, we made furniture, and we would play like all day and for weeks at a time. But yeah, I don't think any of our friends like didn't really play the way we played. And then as we got a little bit older, early teens and stuff, and just our house was like the neighborhood house, and just everybody back then was just outside. You weren't inside on computers and stuff. So we did a lot of outside games like kick the can, and we just had a lot of fun in the neighborhood.
That one is what Grandpa said, that he would play kick the can. And two, I think there's a lot of similarities because between my childhood and your childhood then, because me and Morgan would play Barbies for like days all day. And also we were always outside as kids too, the neighborhood kids. So you did a good job if that was your favorite part of your childhood, giving that to us. So good job on your part. Any other childhood memories, like specific ones? Like a funny story that happened at school maybe, or with your friend or something?
The only one that I really remember, like that really stood out to me and still does, is my mom cut hair too, and so did my aunt. And there was one time they decided to give us pixies or shags. I don't know what it was, but it was like really short. And this was before I started wearing makeup or anything. And we lived right behind a store, and the truckers were behind the store. And I was walking home one day and passed a trucker, and he's like, "Excuse me, do you know what time it is, son?" And I was crushed. It was right after my haircut. And I will never, ever I never got a short hair cut again after that.
Okay, first of all, literally, he's probably just dumb because there's no way you looked like a boy.
I didn't, like I said, I have blonde eyelashes, no makeup at that time. I was like probably 13,
that's
14.
fine.
Like I could have looked like a boy. My hair was really short.
Whatever.
Probably younger than that because I didn't have any protruding body parts either. I was probably younger than 14. It was probably, 11, 12. I don't know, but it was.
Well, one time people would always say my voice. I think I told you this story that someone I know, a little kid, was like, "Why does she sound like a boy?" talking about me. So it's okay.
Well, I've got a lot of little kids saying stuff about, you have a witch's nose.
Okay, well,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
kids are just or like if you have like a pimple, kids like, "What's that thing on your face?" Like, please stop.
Yeah.
But okay. Next, these are just a couple of short ones. What's your favorite food?
I used to say crab legs.
Crab is good.
I honestly don't know. I think probably most people don't, but like my homemade pizzas, but it was a tradition from my mom, her crust and everything, and I don't have as much as I would like to. I think the kids rather order pizza out somewhere, but I like my homemade pizzas.
Okay, that's a good answer. Favorite color?
I always liked yellow.
You do that every question. It's fine, but
I always liked yellow.
yes, I've been really in a yellow thing recently too. And then favorite animal?
I'm boring. I'm probably going to have to say dogs.
I thought it was a giraffe.
Oh, yeah, I guess if you're going to talk that kind of like exotic animal, but yeah, I do love giraffes. I think they're just, unique and beautiful. Like at the zoo, that's my favorite thing to see.
You're so cute. You're like, that is so fitting, like yellow and giraffe. You give off yellow vibes to me. Okay. Next question. Where have you traveled to in your life?
Not many places, unlike my sister. I've been, in the United States, just like Florida, California,
New York.
New York. I'm trying to think if there's other places, but outside of the USA, pretty much just Mexico. I can't even think if there's any place else. I think just Mexico.
Okay. And is there any places you would like to go that you haven't gone to?
I don't know. I always said I'd want to go to Australia.
Ooh.
But I don't
Really?
know. I always
Don't
said
say
that.
even.
Well, I don't know about the flight. The flight is
okay.
like really long.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's almost 24 hours, I think. It's like 20 hours or something like that.
So,
I
but
never asked you that. I didn't know you wanted to go to Australia.
It was always on my bucket list. That and Hawaii is still part of the U.S., but I think Hawaii would be beautiful to see.
Yeah, I didn't ask if it could have been in the U.S.
Yeah.
Let's go to Hawaii. Woo! Okay. Those,
Yeah, you know what? I really don't have a lot of desire to go all over the different countries. It's just not something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to go there.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like I do and I don't. Like, I feel like eventually I do.
I feel like there's so much of the United States that I haven't seen.
Let's go to Oregon. I want to go. Let's take a trip. And we can, because Oregon is like mountains and like that type of vacation, which we've only been to like Florida like as a family, we've only been to Florida and we've been to like Wisconsin or like Door County or like Galena, Illinois.
Oh, okay, so we're in Iowa.
But like,
but yeah.
Because I was gonna say we've only really done like beachy kind of vacations like in Florida, but I guess those places count. But I want to go to like the mountains. No, we need to go to California because
Las Vegas.
Oh
obviously.
yes, we did go. We went to Vegas too, which that was
and I've been
fun
like
too,
5 or 6 times, but
I don't really care about gambling and drinking. But okay. Now, the next question is the main reason I even wanted to film this podcast because I feel like it's an interesting story and you probably already know what I'm about to ask. But basically, I feel like I've mentioned this in a couple episodes or an episode before that my mom used a sperm donor to have me and my brother and sister. And I feel like there's not a lot of information about that online, especially from the mom's perspective. I feel like it's usually either from the kids like perspective or like things like that. I don't know. Maybe there is information about it and I just don't see it, but I thought it would be cool to talk about that. And so I just wrote down like a broad question, like what was your experience like using a sperm donor, but you can start like from the whole thing. So I guess like, you know what you want to say? Okay, go.
So I guess I'll start from the beginning that it was never like part of the plan. I always, I had a couple long relationships. One was like 8 or 9 years and the other maybe a little over a year and stuff. And they just didn't work out. And then I always put myself out there to try to meet people, to go to right places. I know a lot of my friends, if anybody watches this, will say how picky I am.
I get it from you. My standards
I've always told that my standards were too high, and that's okay.
You shouldn't lower them.
But I mean stupid things. Like I wouldn't go on a second date with a guy because he had a huge hole in his sock that was sticking up above the heel in his shoe and his jeans. And I'm like, all right.
Well, was that a first date?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, that's weird.
And somebody else who asked me out on a first date, and this was late in life. This was like in my 50s, asked me out on a date, and we just went to lunch. I think the bill was $26. And the bill finally comes, and he's like, how do you want to do this? And it's like, really? You're in your 50s. You asked me out.
Exactly,
I'm like, I guess
bro.
we can split the bill. I should have said I'll pay. Don't worry about it. But I'm like,
That's not high standards. That's just literally basic. Everyone knows the man should pay on the first date.
But anyway, I put myself out there. Just never happened. That I didn't find the love of my life. And I always told my mom, you know, because I've always known from a young age that I wanted to be a mom, kind of like you. Like that's all I think. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Well, when you don't have a partner, you obviously can't stay at home because you have to work. But that was always my dream. Then I told my mom by the time I was 35, if I didn't meet Mr. Right, that I was going to have kids on my own. And I didn't. I kept putting myself out there, going to places where I knew I'd meet a lot of people, but I just didn't. So when I was getting close to 40, my mom had said, you know, if you want to do this, you know, I'll help you with daycare. And so that's really all I needed to hear. And I tried. I asked my doctor, how do I go about this? He told me to go get checked by a fertility doctor first. I did. I told them I didn't want to do any drugs or anything because I had no reason to believe I was infertile, which turned out to be true because the first shot at it. And actually, with that said, without drugs or anything, it's really a lot cheaper than adoption. Plus, you know, they're my DNA.
Well, yeah, obviously adoption's very expensive, and you have to go through like a whole process.
If you do in vitro and stuff like that too, and have your own, if you have to go through in vitro because you know you have problems getting pregnant, then it's expensive too. So I just wanted to try.
I feel like adoption's still probably more expensive than that, right?
I don't know. It's expensive.
I guess it all depends on people's circumstances too, but
yeah. But so I first try and I got pregnant with Brooke.
Woohoo!
And then, you know, I knew just because I come from a family with 6 kids that I didn't want to have an only child if possible. So I asked my parents if they minded if I tried again, and I got pregnant with twins. Again, no drugs.
Was that your second try?
You know what? So after you were born, I tried again. I think you were only, oh gosh, you might have been only like 6 months old when I tried again, and it didn't take. And then I tried, I think, one more time, and it didn't take. And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe my body just hasn't bounced back yet from giving birth to you because it was so soon. And I waited a couple more months, like till the end of summer. Tried again with no drugs, and I got pregnant with them.
Okay.
And I remember.
That's driving me crazy.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
And I remember, I don't even know I'm doing it.
I know you can't help it.
And I remember when I first found out with my own pregnancy test with the twins that I was pregnant.
Did you just get a feeling and you took a test with them? Because you said your own pregnancy test.
Well, not a feeling, but I mean, well, with you, I definitely had a feeling.
Knew. Yeah,
you knew. I got inseminated, so I knew I was going to be, you know.
That was a dumb question.
So I lost my train of thought now.
Sorry. You found out you were pregnant?
So when I went to I found out I was pregnant through my own pregnancy test. I went to my regular gynecologist. And he said, you know, just due to your age, you know, if your test results come back fine, your blood tests or come back high, we'll get you tested for multiples. And when he told me what the numbers were, they didn't, I kind of Googled them. They didn't seem too high. They didn't seem too low. They were kind of right in the middle. But he said, well, send you. And I was at work. My doctor's appointment was near work. I went on my lunch break to get my ultrasound. And they're like, congratulations, you're having twins, 2 heartbeats. And woo-hoo. At that time, I just started crying. I had to go home.
You weren't excited, though, a little bit?
I was excited, but I said, you don't understand. I'm like a single mom of a 14-month-old. Twins wasn't part of the plan. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't change a thing. And I'm glad now, and I love it to death. I love that I have twins. But I was scared at that point. And so I went back to work, saw my boss jogging down the road. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm having twins, you know, and I pulled up to my mom's and dad's house, who was watching Brooke at the time, and I just couldn't even talk. I just handed them like the ultrasound. They're like, "What happened?" Because I was crying. They're like, "Did you lose it?" And I'm like, "Twins." But so obviously it was a blessing in disguise. But what else?
Okay. So how was the process of actually like doing it? So you walk into what is it called? Like a fertility or clinic
so I
or
went to
something?
the fertility doctor first of all, so yeah, they told me, they just checked my ovaries, said they looked sleepy, whatever that means, but I obviously
Because you
didn't
were
have,
old.
I
No,
obviously
you weren't old.
didn't have any.
I'm just kidding.
I was, but I obviously didn't have any problems. But then they told me, the fertility clinic told me that they deal usually with a couple sperm banks. So I Googled them, and these days you get a lot of information. I got like 3 generations of medical history. Like,
Wait, so they just get like, is there just literally like a whole list of everything, or you just tell them what you're looking for and then they
don't-
give it to you?
No, so they just told me the sperm banks that they use. And
What does that mean?
well, that they usually tell people to use. So that means you go on Google and look up these sperm banks
I
and like
see.
look at their site, and they list like everything. You pick the ones you seem to be interested in, and for more money, you can get 3 generations of their medical history. Also, like little things like, shoe size, neck size. Like, did you ever have braces?
Neck
Like,
size.
yeah, for like, guys, like they certain size neck for like dress shirts and stuff like that. Excuse me. Do they tan
you need
easily?
water?
Do they have freckles? No, I just had to clear my throat. But yeah, you get a lot of information these days, and so I selected the ones that I thought I would like. You have option of getting an audio, and I don't think there was a picture with Brooks. I had a baby picture with the twins donor, because they're 2 different donors. But yeah, there's a lot of information. So then once I selected them, then you order them. I think, if I recall right, you have them shipped directly to your fertility doctor. Then they have it. You make an appointment.
Do they just put the little syringe in
It's
there?
a syringe and insert, and you're done for the day. That was it. Like I said, no drugs, no nothing. It was just.
Were you scared to, even with just me, were you scared to have a kid on your own without a man?
No.
Okay, that's
I
good.
think I was more scared never to have a kid. That was a more scary thought to me.
Yeah, but like when you were like pregnant, like I was coming soon, were you like, okay, like I really am going to have to do this?
No.
But I mean, I guess you did have
I had a
help.
lot of support system.
Yeah.
Our family was a huge help with everything.
Yeah. Okay, so then okay, I don't think I mentioned this, but we were on the Today Show, which we could talk about that a little bit. You can tell them that experience.
So when Brooke was almost 3, or she might have been 3, all right, let me start back up. So a kid created a registry where if you were interested to find out other siblings or your donor or whatever, he created this site where you could go in, you could say what sperm bank you used and your donor number and try to match with other people that use the same one. So we did. Excuse me. And we matched with some people that are still in our lives today, or almost all of them are still in our lives in one way or the other, but we met some people that we were very close with. But the Today Show somehow gets a hold of these Yahoo groups and sees, that there's a sperm donor Yahoo group out there. And somehow they contacted somebody in our group and asked if they wanted to be on the Today Show. And I was at work one morning, got a call and said, how would you like to be on the Today Show and meet other people that use the same donor as you? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, like when? And they said, tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, crap. And so I called my sister, asked her if she wanted to come with because they paid for me along with somebody else to watch Brooke because Brooke came with. And I went shopping really quick to find something for me to wear and Brooke to wear. And we got on a plane by like 3:00 that afternoon, and we ended up, you shoot, what is it, the next morning, and we were supposed to fly home that night and got snowed in, so we got an extra night. But yeah, I forgot how many of us were actually there, maybe 7 of us there, but it was a really interesting experience, and we got some not only lifelong friends, but family out of it.
Yes, I still talk to quite a few of my half siblings that their moms use the same sperm donor that my mom did. And there was a couple summers where they would come in a row.
7 years in a row, one of them.
7? Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. So, okay, so I guess 7 summers in a row. One of my siblings would come every summer.
I thought it was that long.
And so I'm trying to think, do you have any other things to add or any experiences that we're forgetting? Or any details, that you're forgetting about your using a sperm donor experience? I feel like there was more about it that I wanted to ask. I'm trying to think, but you think too. And about the details of actually using one, not like
my pregnancy or anything.
No, yeah, you can talk about your pregnancy.
My pregnancies you were really easy.
That's good.
But you were also 4 weeks early, but no problems with the pregnancy at all. With the twins.
Was your belly really big with the twins?
Yeah, I guess it was.
I wish I could go back and see you pregnant.
I thought it looked cute when I was pregnant with you. I can't remember what I thought with the twins, but all I remember with the twins is very early on, and maybe because I already had one baby, and plus there was 2 in there instead of 1, I felt a lot of pressure early on, like being hard to walk, and got the handicap space at work, so I didn't have to walk so far to go in. Mm-hmm. And then I did end up contracting or going into labor way early with the twins, and had to go in the hospital for a month, so I could at least make it. I can't remember if it was 30 weeks or 32 weeks. I think it was 30 weeks, because the hospital that I normally would go to doesn't take you until you're like 32 weeks or whatever. So I had to go to a special hospital that was like an hour away and leave poor little Brookie home with Grandma and Grandpa while I was hospitalized till I got to the right time. And then I think I lasted another maybe 2 weeks at home. So they were 6 weeks early. You were 2 weeks early. So everybody 4 weeks early. Sorry. So they were little. Brooke was my biggest.
Were you nervous when they came out really small? Were you scared that was there ever anything that the doctors were like, oh shoot, and made you think there was really something wrong, or were you fine?
No. Well, so with the twins,
well, I know they had to stay longer, but were they in the NICU?
Yeah. So okay. With the twins, during the delivery, Matthew came out first. Morgan's heartbeat started dropping. They were prepping me for a C-section, and then I ended up not having one. She was born naturally too. He was 5'12". She was 3'14".
Which is crazy because usually everyone who has multiples has a C-section.
I don't know about everybody, but they do make you deliver in the operating room in case. But when Matthew came out, right away, they put him up by my face and I said, oh, he's purring. And they're like, oh, that's not a good thing. So they took him right away.
Not purring. He's like a cat.
He was making, he was purring. And then Morgan came out being only 3'14", but Morgan was, other than her weight, she was perfectly healthy. They let her come home at 4 pounds.
Oh my God. Was she I think literally she was, so small?
She was really tiny, but
was it cute?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think she was in the hospital for 8 or 9 days. Matthew, though, his purring was because he has what's called a PDA. There's a valve on your heart that is supposed to close right when you're born, and his stayed open. And they said that either it closes on its own or it may need surgery. Or I don't know if there was a in between there, a medication, but his ended up closing on his own after 11 days. So he came home a few days later than her, and everything was fine. Bless you.
Thank you.
So other than that, I mean, that was scary because you didn't know in the first, until he got off all of the stuff, like I couldn't hold him at all. They wanted as little stimulation to him as possible. So they didn't really I could touch him, but they didn't want me rubbing him. So that was hard.
Oh, were you sad? Yeah. Oh, I wish I had memories of that. Like just me with grandma and grandpa for like a whole month, basically.
Yeah. I mean,
did they bring me?
They did bring you. Maybe not every day, maybe like once a week or something. They brought you to visit me. And it was nice. I got my people from work visited me. I think somebody sent a pedicure. Somebody I work with sent a pedicurist that came and gave me a pedicure while I was there. And they had a inside the hospital, like people that come and like bring you. I think I made stained glass. I also think I made those baby onesies that said like Big Sister and everything, like things that you could do while you're set up. But of course I missed you.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if anything else comes up. I guess we can
add it later.
Yeah, circle back to it.
Okay.
But what?
Oh, nothing. I thought you meant like at a different day.
No,
okay.
No. Okay, so that was my mom's experience using a sperm donor. And like she said, me and my brother and sister have different dads technically, but not. Yeah. Next one is, so in the beginning, you said that doing DIY like projects and stuff is what like you like to do that for fun. How did you become so handy and like learn how to do everything on your own? Because for a little bit of information, my mom has literally like renovated a lot of things in our house like all on her own. She like paints every room. She built our kitchen island. She tore up our floor upstairs, like our carpet and tile, and put in the floor. She just redid the bathroom with like the whole sink top and everything. And she built our fire pit and everything outside. She's always building stuff and doing projects. So she doesn't need no man to build stuff for her and do anything. So how do you learn how to do that? Or do you just read the instructions and wing it?
I think a combination of probably a lot of things. One being that I was single for so long and was a homeowner by myself. My best friend, he's my best friend, and he knows everything about everything and has taught me a lot over the years.
Shout out Ron, her friend.
I've changed, he's taught me how to, like, I don't know how many, maybe all three. I think he may have helped me with the first toilet, but I like take out toilets and put in new toilets and faucets, that kind of stuff. I think a lot of it I learned from him, but I enjoy doing it myself now. And there's nothing you can't find now on YouTube. So I figure out how to do something. I wish I knew more about like how to fix cars, but
why? Who cares?
Save you a lot of money.
I know, but there's people that we know that can do it. I feel like
not really, but
I don't know a damn thing. I can put something together. Like if you order like a table or like something or that needs to be built with like an instruction and all the parts have the stickers like part A, B, like, yeah, I can do that type of stuff, but I could not build a fucking kitchen island. That's crazy.
Which her and Matthew did for me. One day I had plans to go out and have some fun, and I had ordered some, what do you call them? Garden tables that are raised, and left Matthew and Brooke to put it together for me, and they did. By the time I got home, it was done. That
was fun. Like I like doing that, and because I have OCD, so I like doing that type of stuff and putting putting stuff together. So that's how you did it.
Yeah, I think just because I lived alone so long that I had to learn, and also
Because
Ron.
fuck men.
No, not
yes,
true.
for
Not
me it's true. Also, we look a lot alike right now because I feel like our glasses are similar.
They are
and similar
now,
colors.
you got new glasses.
Jeez. People say that we look alike. Who said that? Oh, that lady when I was at work the other day. She's like, is that your mom? And I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I can tell. Remember?
Well,
Do you remember?
I do remember that. But now I'm thinking, so that's one of the things, because, obviously I don't hate my nose. Like, do I love it? No. But that is like one of the things that
I like your nose.
But I was looking at.
I like your nose.
Well, that's fine. But I'm saying you don't have my nose because it's one of the things that I had looked for when I was picking out a donor, because you could look and see if they had a concave, convex, or a straight nose and stuff. And I think yours had a straight nose, a German nose and stuff. But I specifically was looking at that also. So it's funny.
You wouldn't have thought I was cute if I had your nose?
I would. But did I? Two of us having the same, like not you, two of you, but me and the donor both having this, it could have resulted in something bad.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's not bad. All noses are beautiful. No. Don't listen to her. Because I bet you if you saw somebody else with that nose, you wouldn't think they look bad.
I don't
exactly.
think they look bad.
So
I just, everybody has something about them, but I would never change it. It's me.
Yes. Okay. Next one is, what advice do you have for me when I become a mom? Is there anything you would want me to know, want me to do?
One thing is that as long as I'm able, I'll always be there for you. But the other thing is,
which I will definitely
do what your
take
heart,
advantage of that,
and do what your heart tells you. And
this is advice for me.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And so you do what your heart tells you, and know that it's a process. There's never an end. It's not a journey with a destination. I'm still learning. You learn how to handle your newborns, and then your toddlers, and then your preteens, and then your teens, and now trying to be a parent to adults. It's all a learning process, and you're never going to be perfect. Just do your best.
Okay, that's good advice. Were you ever stressed out being a single mom working full time? Was there ever a point where you were just like, this is really overwhelming?
Honestly, no.
That's good. Wow.
I never was. And you guys were, did you have your little fights here and there? But you guys were so easy, and you still are pretty easy, and you all love each other so much. And I had the help from, I had help from grandma and grandpa longer than grandma when you were just almost like 5 and the twins were 2. She got Alzheimer's. So
I was 5?
Yeah, close to it. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. That's terrible.
And then, so your aunts stepped up and helped watch you a couple days a week. We got a nanny a couple days a week. Or babysitters, I guess you could call them. I don't know. But I always, and I have a job that is very family oriented or whatever, that like they understand if you need to take off or something. I could fix my hours so that I was home at certain times. It was, I've never really felt stressed about it at all.
Are you stressed now in life? Is there anything that, not even just about being a mom, but like anything you're stressed about, really? Grandpa's
92. You worry about his health. I wouldn't call it stress, though. I would consider it normal stuff. The things that...
Well, yeah, even if it's normal to be stressed about, you could still be stressed about it.
I'm probably more stressed about you guys. Like, just
so
knowing, I think you'll never stop worrying as a parent. I don't care if your kids are 40, you're always going to worry about them. But I think, knowing you guys are all still young in college, starting out, like you don't have your full-time careers or whatever you're going to decide yet. I think just you're always, and even with friends and relationships, and if your kid's hurting or your adult kid even is hurting, anybody, then you're hurting, and you want them to have good friends, and you want them to have good relationships, and you want them to be self-sufficient, and all that stuff. Like you want so much for your kids, and that's what stresses me out these days. Nothing really about myself, or those are the kinds of things. But I think those are normal things that every parent worries about.
Okay. What are some things that makes you happy? Okay, obviously, like your kids.
that's the main thing. But
exactly, but it makes me sad because I know you don't care. But like, wait, let me finish. Okay. I know you don't care, but like sometimes I feel sad because I'm like, literally, I feel like are either working or with us. I mean, I feel like recently, the past couple like months or years, you've been with your friends more, but I feel like growing up, like when we were in like middle school and stuff, and like you were always with us.
I was always with you, but that was my fun, and we weren't always with you, but we had a good group of
we did
neighborhoods, and everybody you went to school with, and parents get-togethers and stuff. So even though with you, I was still with a lot of adults. I think when I was with less adults, I feel like is when COVID started. And then now I've been making it a more, like my friends ask me, hey, everyone want to go out? And I'm like, yep, I'm in, because I'm just trying to make myself get out there. As far as a relationship, I honestly could care less.
Yeah, valid.
I really don't care if I ever in a relationship again. I can't even think of dating.
Yes, because you know that men are trash, and you can admit that.
Not because men are trash.
Yes, because then you have to just put up with someone else's stuff. It's not being
put up with. It's just having to start over. And I don't know. It just
that's something I'm so afraid of is being with someone.
You're young enough that that's fine. Like,
okay, but you're young enough too. People get married when they're like 70, 80.
But do I want to is the question.
Well, then that's fine. You don't have to.
You want to, but
no, I know, but you don't have to. You just said it's like too late.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't. I don't even think I would get married. To me, getting married is more. I want to have kids with you. Yeah. Now, if I have a partner, that's one thing. Unless it's a financial reason to get married?
Are you like completely against it? Like, if you met a guy that you like thought was attractive or something, would you even like try and pursue it, or you just genuinely don't want to?
No, I mean,
because I feel like you're like kind of really against the idea.
I would, and I did. Like,
yeah, you did in the past, but
no,
now
I was gonna say I just did not that long ago with the one guy I met in Walmart. But I don't know. He was trying to be.
But I feel like that's how you know that shit's not gonna work out because you met in Walmart.
No, I mean it was fine, and he was nice. He had triplets actually. Divorced, but I don't know. I felt like he was a little bit pushy. I felt like he was saying, like after a second date, he was saying, what happens on the third date?
See, I said, boo, man, boo.
Yeah, I told him I wasn't like.
Don't.
Sorry. I don't know what I did that for.
What?
I thought it was going to come off the end.
No.
But I don't know. I haven't dated in like so long that I felt like it's going to take me a while before I want to be intimate with somebody. So you better be patient.
Mm-hmm. Which is understandable. I feel like the third date is insane. I feel like if I meet someone, I feel like I'm gonna wait at least 3 months before we do anything. At least. And also my biggest fear, okay, not my biggest fear, that's dramatic, but I do not want to get an STD. I'm making somebody get tested because I'm not doing that. I don't care how many people you slept with as long as you don't have anything, and I'm making you get tested and if they deny it, they're like, no, I won't get tested. That's how you know.
But you think they'd want to know too. You'd think they'd want to be.
Isn't it? It's not that expensive, or is it free?
It could be free.
I think there's places that probably do it for free.
Maybe.
Whatever. But okay, what else makes you happy? You like to, what are like some hobbies? Well, you do projects. You like to do puzzles.
Yeah, I'm doing one right now.
Her favorite show is Friends.
And I don't even know if it's my favorite. I mean, I do love Friends, and I think it's more of a comfort thing. Like, even if I'm watching it or not, it's what's on at bedtime, even though I've seen every episode
it's a
40
comfort.
times.
See, it's your favorite because it's the show you watch the most, and it's your comfort show.
Yeah. Lately, I've been kind of switching between that and Golden Girls, but at bedtime.
I love Golden Girls.
But
Thank you for being a friend.
Yeah. But, you guys, and I do enjoy my friends a lot lately. Like, I'm having fun going out with my friends. Just joined
Yes, I've been happy. You've been
what
going...
do you call it? Plays, like season passes to plays this year. And
I'm happy you've been with your friends more. Also, I never noticed that you do this until we started doing this right now.
Me either. I still don't know I'm doing it until you say it.
I know. I don't think it's going to bother anyone else, hopefully, as much as it's
that's the same thing
me,
as when you talk about the dogs barking on your videos and nobody else can hear it, but you keep pointing things out on videos that make people, are you yawning? Like you, like,
bro, okay, the yawning is like obvious though. I know,
but
because I could not stop. That was actually so weird, Mom. I could not stop over and over and over. And now just talking about it, I feel like I have to yawn right now. Okay, so puzzles, your friends, obviously us. What about our pets make you happy? My mom cuddles with them.
I just did it again. That's how I noticed.
My mom every night sits with the dogs on the couch and cuddles with them.
Not necessarily by choice, but that's what they want.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who's sitting on the couch that they want to cuddle.
Happy.
Yeah, but
you said your favorite animal's dogs.
Yeah, I mean, do I want them on top of me all the time? But
okay, well, it's not all the time. Throughout the day, they're minding their own business.
They are, because I'm working. But,
and she did. Okay, actually, I didn't mean to cut you off, but she used to go into work every day full time because I don't know. So she did, and we would be at school and everything. But now that my grandpa's getting older, she works from home because she takes care of him.
Yeah, and it started with COVID though. So COVID, I started working from home. Then slowly they went back 2 days a week. This year they went back 3 days a week. But I got the approval now because during COVID, as my dad was aging and stuff, now I can help take care of him. He's not an invalid. He's up and he's around, and it's just reminding him to, fixing his food, reminding him to take his pills, that kind of stuff, and just making sure I'm here if he needs me. But at this point, he's not difficult.
He just forgets things sometimes. Do you have any favorite memories not from your childhood? Like, because I know you said, like, I don't remember if it was like your 20s or your 30s, but like, or maybe it was both, where you had, maybe it was 40s, I don't know. But when you had like not 40s, when you had like lots of fun, you were always out with your friends and stuff. Like, I love looking at the photo albums with all your old pictures and stuff, which I already know I told you that I want to do that. I want to print off pictures and put it in an album because I do not want to show my kids pictures of me when I was younger from like a device. That's so, like, I love having like physical copies of like pictures of you in a book that I can go through. And you still are beautiful, but you were so cute. I love your outfits that you used to wear. And now you're like, oh, I can't wear that, I'm too old or whatever, but you're literally not at all. But I love looking at those, and I feel like most of the pictures and stuff in those photo albums was like from that like era of your life, because that was probably where you were taking most of the pictures and stuff. Mm-hmm. But do you have any favorite memories, or just if you want to talk about that time period in general?
Just maybe in general. I'm trying to think if it was like, I mean, I guess there was a lot of friends at the time, like the people I knew from school.
And work, right?
But that's what I was going to say. But then the other thing, like, it's not the same as it is now. Like, work friends, I mean, we had happy hours every weekend. We did so many things. Like Cub games, racetrack, just, softball, like just, we were out all the time, like every weekend. Like, I had a huge work crew that we just had a blast. Golf outings, all the time. And then obviously my friends, that I still hang out with now. We played softball, we played volleyball, went on trips.
Bring that back. Let's get friends together and play volleyball.
That was so just, I mean, when I'm talking about like bar volleyball, it was just like a blast.
Yeah, I wanna
and
play.
we went out dancing a lot, like not like kids do now. Like we had dance clubs around here. Like there isn't even any hardly unless you go to the city, but
So sad.
we had a blast. And I'm not talking what they do now with the twerking and the grinding and the jumping up and down.
Okay.
I mean, we actually danced and it was like a
First
blast.
of all, the jumping up and down is fine. And twerking's honestly fine. Grinding is so nasty. Like, I don't know. I just really am against PDA for some reason. Like, oh, like I don't even, when I get a boyfriend, I don't even want to like kiss or anything in front of you guys. Like, I just want to like ew, like, cause I get so uncomfortable. Like when people are around me, like making out with each other and stuff, or like at school when I was in high school, walking in the hallways and couples just like making out against the lockers, like while a teacher's standing like 5 feet away, like, ew, that's so nasty. Like when people in like homecoming in high school, mom, I'm not even kidding. There's literally grind circles and people would just stand in a circle and all the girls would be like in the middle and the guys would be standing on the outside. Like that's so nasty.
But that's what I mean. Like we actually danced. We had
I know.
fun
I want to do
dancing.
that, but no one else does because they're weird.
And there was so much around here. There was so much. We just had just a blast.
That's why I want to go to a club, not even to like get drunk, but I just want to go and dance. But I'll be 21 soon, then I can get into the clubs. Whoop, whoop. But so were you done? Sorry, I'm interrupted again. Talking about that period in your life, or
Yeah, it was just, I had a lot of fun. But you know what? And sometimes you say, like, I want you to do more, or you should do this, or you should do that. But the way I look at it is a lot of people get married in their 20s, early 20s or mid 20s and have their kids. And I look at it this way. I didn't have you till I was 41. I did all that. Like I had it. I was always out at the bar. You know, I sowed my oats and you know, I had a blast. And so when I finally did have kids at my age, that's where I wanted to be with my kids.
and I honestly understand that because I'm still very young, but I feel like there's things that I did in high school. Like I know underage drinking out, whatever, but I would drink and stuff. And like, I'm already like over that because like, I feel like I already got it over with. So I guess I understand.
And I feel like the people that have their kids in their early 20s or whatever, then by the time their kids are old enough, then they're like, hey, we can start going out again. You know, like they want to, even though
Honestly,
I was
no.
tired of going out. I was tired by 40. It's like, I don't really want to be out at the bars every night now. I want to be home with my kids.
Also, I feel like that's actually the way it should be because I actually find it so embarrassing because our town's really kind of small. And I feel like there's so many like grown ass people that have kids and they're like staying out to the bars late at night, like getting wasted. And I'm like, don't you have fucking kids to take care of? Like, I agree. I'm not trying to, that sounds like really judgmental. And like, I get it on like the weekends or like holidays or something, but like there's some people I feel like that do it like constantly. You know what I mean? Like there's like adults that like every weekend or like even on weeknights just go to bars and just sit there for hours and get wasted. And I'm like,
and which is fine if that's what they want to do, but that just wasn't
I know.
me.
I guess it is fine. Yeah. I shouldn't be judgmental because it's their life. And if that's what they want to do, that's fine. But I just feel like for me, like,
and I do know when I was young, but when I was young and was babysitting, I think I stopped babysitting when I was 16 because I just started having all my friends and wanted to go out all the time. But the people that I had a regular babysitting job with, it was pretty much every weekend. And that's why I kind of stopped because I had no weekends free. But their kids were, I think, like 2, 3, and 7. And they were out every weekend, which I made money on. But that was, to me, it's fine. They got a babysitter. They went out. They did their thing. And they
I know,
had
but
a
like
good
every
marriage,
weekend,
but
like
they pretty much were. But
raise your kids and spend time with your
But
kids.
I mean,
but
they did.
during the week, they worked, I bet.
I don't know if they both worked. I can't remember if the mom worked or not.
Because then every weekend they'd go out.
There was
There's
a lot
like,
of
okay,
stay-at-home moms back then. But
when are you going to spend time with your kids then? Okay, well, the kids were in school, I'm sure.
the 2 and the 3-year-old weren't. But yeah, the 7-year-old would have been. But.
So how about the weekends? You spend time with your kid.
And they did. They went out at night, you know. But,
Okay, I guess. Yeah, whatever. I'm being harsh and rude, but I just sometimes I just like, which, okay, you're never too old to like stop having fun, I guess. And I feel like you never really feel your age. I think we were just I just asked you that the other day. I was like, do you feel like 60 or whatever? Because I don't even feel 20. I feel like 17 still. Like, so I feel like you're never like too old to stop having fun, I guess. I just think some people it is excessive. Because I agree, go out and have a drink. And like I said, I want you to do that. Like I'm telling you to go out with your friends and hang out with your friends. Like I want you to do that. But just some parents, especially when the kids are like little, like now I want you to do that more because I'm like older and I'm fine. But when you have like little babies at home, I just feel like if you're going out excessively in your 30s, 40s when you have a baby, I just feel like it's a little irresponsible.
I don't know. I'm not going to judge, but
I'm not trying to judge either. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to come off judgmental. I'm really not. Don't be mad at me if this is not directed at anyone I know personally or anything. I should not say anything about anyone else's lives. For me personally, I am going to watch me say that now and then. And then
yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, I really don't know. Would there be anything in your life that you would have done differently?
That's a tough question because maybe, well, first of all, this isn't what I planned. Like if I had the option to be married, if I met Mr. Right,
Which you still could.
which I know, but I mean, if I had the traditional family, would I have preferred that? Probably. But then looking at this, I wouldn't have had you guys. So it is the way it is. The other thing was that.
What? It is the way it is. Wouldn't you rather have us?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it turned out the way it should be. But the other thing is that I wasted most of my high school years liking somebody that was out of high school. And I wish I didn't do that. I wish I, kind of opened myself up a little bit more in high school. I mean, not that I didn't have fun. I had a great time with my friends. All my friends were older, so by the time I got to be a senior, it was kind of boring because most of my friends were already out of school. But it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything at all. And then oh great, I hear Matthew yelling for you. What do you wish most for your kids? For me, Matthew, and Morgan?
I kind of touched on that already. Mainly that you're happy, that you're healthy, and that you're successful in whatever that means to you. But especially, you don't have to be rich, but I want you to be rich in your heart and just feel happy emotionally.
And you always say that you want us to be good humans.
Yes.
Which
you all are. You all are great humans.
Do you like, okay, obviously not some of them, but do you like our friends? My Matthew and Morgan's friends?
I'm not going to say I dislike anybody. Do I think you guys have been taken advantage of in the past? Yes. And does that hurt as a mom to see when you don't think your kids' friends are treating them right? Yes. But you guys got to learn how to deal with that on your own. It's tough to be a mom and watch it and not want to go beat up those kids, but
beat up those kids.
I'm kidding. But
the motion was funny.
But yeah,
that just reminded me of.
But you guys do have some very special friends that I love.
Yes, you consider them family. Mm-hmm. Also, that reminded me of the story when that guy was like, I think I told this in my crazy stories that I've experienced episode, but that time when we were in the car with Brooke and I was like, I want to flip him off, and you were like, no, don't. And you always tell me not to because people are crazy on the road. And then as soon as he started yelling at me, you fucking rolled down the window. You're like, fuck you. You learn how to drive. It's already yelling. Like your mom mode just kicked in. And that was so funny. Because
It does happen.
you're telling me, you're like, you never know these crazy people.
Oh, there are crazy people.
I know,
The
but
road
it was
rage,
just-
like
I
you
know.
just don't know. But
then it was just so funny because you're like, fuck you. And you started yelling at me. Also, I want to say, I feel like you did a great job raising us. One, because like you said, I feel like we're all very good people and we're very empathetic towards other people and everything. But also, I feel like you weren't too strict, which obviously the parents who are strict are not going to agree with this parenting style of yours. But like people in high school, like you knew that like drinking and stuff was like going to happen because that's what kids do in high school. Like you did that stuff in high school too. Most kids do start trying drinking and stuff in high school. And you always just like said you'd rather us be safe. And you were always like, you always told us to be open with you about what we were doing. And so that's one thing that I really appreciated because I literally tell my mom everything and I have such bad like separation anxiety from her. Like I have to be around her, which that's not too good. I feel like I need to learn to be less a little bit, but why are my eyes watering? But I literally like tell her everything, like, and I feel like you did a good job at making me feel like I could tell you everything because in like parties, even like when I'd go to parties with my friends in high school and stuff, she would always offer to pick us up and drive us there because she didn't want us to be under the influence in a car, which I appreciate that as well because she would even come get us like 2-3 in the morning. Like that's one thing also, like you're very dependable, which I appreciate. The story I also might have told, I don't remember. I had a friend who was being terrible to me at a concert all the way in Chicago, which is like an hour away from where we live. And it was like midnight and you drove all the way there to come get me and bring me home because this friend was being rude. And I just feel like that is something that I want to do for my kids. And I feel like even now, like I still do that. Like even people that are younger than me, like friends, younger siblings, or like kids I used to babysit for, like I always tell them like, you can call me and pick me up anytime. Like
you'll pick them up.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like I'm always here for you. I'll help you if you are ever uncomfortable. Cause a lot of the kids I used to babysit for are like in high school now and stuff, in middle school. And so I always am like, you can call me even at 3 a.m. Like I always sleep with my ringer on. And I feel like I maybe inherited that from you a little bit. So I appreciate, because a lot of kids don't have those type of relationships with their parents. I feel like a lot of kids are scared to tell their parents things because they don't want to get in trouble, or I don't know. So I'm just very grateful that you were very open and not strict, because I feel like strict parents make sneaky kids. Like my friends that were hanging out, like some of my friends that we were hanging out with, like when you'd be picking us up and dropping us off at these parties, these friends' parents didn't even know we were going to a party. Like they just said, okay, I'm going to sleep at Brooke's house. And so like, I feel like a lot of my friends too, like, oh, and how you said your house was like the hangout house when you were a kid, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, but more of the outside, like hangout, like because we were out in the neighborhood. It wasn't like the inside with everybody sleeping over, that kind of thing.
Well, that I appreciate, because I literally don't even think I'm going to do that for my kids. But that also is because my OCD, I just don't want like a bunch of people in my house like messing up all my stuff.
Not that I liked it either.
No,
but
I know
I'd
you
rather
didn't.
have everyone safe.
Yeah, that was her thing. She just wanted people to be safe. But literally in high school, like people would come over all the time and sleep over and stay the night. And I feel like a lot of my friends are close with you as well. Like I feel like you talk, like whenever my friends come over, I feel like a lot of them talk to you and can feel comfortable enough around you. And that is something I also hope to do for my kids. We do kind of argue sometimes. Me and my mom do kind of argue.
A lot of times it's stupid stuff, but
yeah, and it's been better. I feel like it goes in like waves. Sometimes we argue, sometimes we don't. In high school, it was kind of bad. Right now, I would say it's kind of good, and it is a lot of over dumb stuff a lot of the time. But even though like we argue, and I tell you sometimes like certain things, I don't know. I do think you're a very good mom, and there's a lot of things you did for me, Matthew, and Morgan that I want to do for my kids as well.
Well, thank you. And that's a lot of that is learned, which I think a lot of people, your friends and Matthew and Morgan's friends and their parents, when we grew up, it wasn't like that as much. It was more, you did be sneaky and you did hide things from your parents, and we were driving drunk. The laws weren't quite as strict then. Not that the laws are the only reason not to, but like you don't want to get a DUI and stuff now, and I don't want you killing somebody or getting killed or whatever. So knowing that you were probably going to go to parties and just not tell me and be risky or be safe and let people stay here if they wanted to. I think I know a lot of your friends' parents are the same way. I think we're all just like, be safe. That's the main thing. Be safe.
Another thing I do really appreciate is, even though sometimes I don't want to hear what you have to say or like your opinion all the time, you always are honest and will give me your honest opinion, even though I don't always want to hear. And I don't even know where I was going with being honest, because going back to her using a sperm donor and everything, oh my god, see, doesn't it sound so much louder here?
Yeah.
Like you feel like they can hear it. So whatever, we're talking about my dog growling, you probably can't hear it, but that's what we just got sidetracked by. Anyway, ever since we like could speak and like knew how to comprehend sentences, you told us that what?
I'm staring at the
No,
dad, so.
I look at that too. You told us that we like you use a sperm donor. Obviously, she didn't say like whatever. You can say what you told us, that takes a piece of a man, whatever.
Yeah, I wanted them to always know, how they came to be, and not that I didn't want to lie and say, I know somebody who was in the same situation. Actually, she was a doctor that I had, an OBGYN, who told her kids that her fiance died and that they froze his sperm. And it's like, how are you going to keep this lie up? And when are you going to tell them the truth?
That's just
and
so weird.
Yeah, what are they going to think? Text Matthew and tell him
It's
to take
fine.
care of the dog.
I can't text. My phone's filming.
No. But I just don't know how you ever get out of that lie once you start it. So
I agree.
And I felt like the earlier you guys learned, the more it's just part of who you are. So like as soon as you guys could talk and stuff, I just started saying, because obviously you're old enough to know that some of your friends had daddies. And I just said,
Don't say daddy.
that it takes a piece of a man and a piece of a mom and a piece of a daddy to make a baby. And since I didn't have a daddy, that a nice man donated, a piece so that I could have a baby. And there was one time when I was explaining that Brooke said, a piece of his finger.
Aww. That's so cute.
But it was just, you just tell them as early as you can for what they can understand. And the more they ask questions, then you just share as they're old enough to understand it.
Which that's why I brought up, you always told me the honest truth, because I appreciate you being honest with that. And honestly, I mentioned this too with me and Morgan's episode. This might be controversial, but I honestly feel, obviously it would be different if I grew up with a dad, obviously, but I just feel like I feel so much more like, maybe also I just feel safer because like this is my home and this is how I grew up. But like going to my friends' houses like with their dad's home sometimes, like, I don't know, I just like get uncomfortable. Well, I get uncomfortable by men in general, but like not uncomfortable. None of my friends' dads like are creepy or make me uncomfortable. That's not what I'm saying. I just feel like I'm kind of glad I grew up without a dad. I mean, my grandpa's always lived here, so I guess I did have like a fatherly figure because he did raise us growing up. But I just feel kind of glad. I don't know. I feel like woman energy is way more. She disagrees.
Well, no, I know that's you and Morgan. I mean, yes, woman energy is great,
And
but so is
look
man
how-
energy. I know a lot of great men.
And look how Matthew turned out without a dad. Absolutely great. Better than all his friends. Okay, I love Matthew's friends. If you're watching this, I love you guys, but you say some misogynistic things sometimes. And Matthew's very much like doesn't think that way. He's very much like doesn't talk about women in an inappropriate way. Like,
and that might not have anything to do with a dad. That might be growing up with two sisters and hearing how you guys feel about things.
maybe I guess, but I feel like having a man, like a dad too, might have just, maybe it would affect it a little bit just because the way men do talk about women, even if they're good men, like your guy friends that you think are good men do say like inappropriate like things about women. You know what I mean? No,
and
yeah.
I know women that say inappropriate things about men.
Okay,
too,
yes,
so.
I do say inappropriate things about men, but they're different. But whatever, we can disagree or agree to disagree. Which I guess that was all the questions I have for today. Which again, like I said, we can agree to disagree on things, and we do honestly disagree about a lot of things. But I feel like a lot of people like think disagreeing is like a bad thing, or like if when someone has a different opinion than them, they like want to make it a argument or think it's like a personal attack on them, which I feel like me and you both know that's not the case, and it's fine to disagree. And first, before I say anything else at the end, I know because you're my number one supporter. She watches all my podcasts. I think she's probably the only person in my life that's watched every single one. Give your advice to the viewers watching. It can be about anything.
I guess
There's a click again.
I guess just what I already said is,
say it to
just
them.
Be a good human.
Yes, that's it. That's
that. Yeah, just
what does that mean to you? What is being a good human?
Be a good person. Be nice. Be thoughtful. Be empathetic. Be genuine. Just be, just and yeah. I guess that's it.
Okay, that's great advice. Everyone, please take that advice. Literally, be honest, genuine, empathetic, all the above. And thank you so much for joining me, Mom.
Thanks for having me.
I love you very, very much.
You.
And literally, like I said, my mom's like my best friend. This is the final. There's obviously going to be more guest episodes in the future. And honestly, probably down the line, I'll have you and Matthew and Morgan as guests in the future. It doesn't have to be the only episode that you're on. And like I said, this episode comes out the day before her birthday. So everyone, please leave a happy birthday in the comments. It would mean a lot to me. And please hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on.
Subscribe,
like, and comment. You can comment, obviously, happy birthday, any episode suggestions. You can follow all my socials that will be in the description. And do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so. Just I love you.
I love you too. Okay, and I blow them a kiss too. Okay, wait, not yet.
Oh.
Okay, thank you again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next Saturday. Bye.
Bye.